Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it. You already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye, bye. There's someone out there that don't like that intro. Fast forward it. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I highly appreciate your support, man. I'm very humbled. So I did a video yesterday about the little girl that was discovered in the trunk of the Tesla and this rapper who's on tour, who's doing a world tour right now, right? It's looking like he might have some, I don't know, man. He might have had something to do with it, right? Or did he? Because, no, did he, right? Because there's some news, some breaking news that has come out that maybe sheds a light in a different direction. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not involved. That doesn't mean that he could not have something to do with it. And that doesn't mean I'm giving him the pass, because at the end of the day, he was involved in the very least in Chomo activities, a PDF file. That's right off the top. When the little girl's 13 and you're 18, no. You must go, right? Now, this girl, Celeste Rivas, was found on September 8th, wrapped in plastic in the back of a trunk of a Tesla at a tow yard. Now, the car had been towed about a week prior. When it was towed, the guys that work at the tow yard smelled, an odd, awkward smell, and they immediately alerted the authorities. They came and they discovered Celeste's body. Celeste had been missing since April of 2024, so well over a year. We're about 16, 17 months into her disappearance, and her family was very concerned and did not link this body that was found in their area to her, and to the authorities alerted them that this was in fact, their family member, their daughter. Unfortunately, I couldn't even imagine my kid missing. When I see a parent that has a kid missing, I can only feel for them. Your instinct is to protect your child. You don't sleep good at night as a parent until your child is asleep at night. I can't sleep until my daughter puts that phone up and goes to sleep. That's just me. When I know she's safe and sound, then I'm safe and sound, right? Then everything's good. Until then, I'm on parent mode like a motherfucker. That's just how that goes. So I could only sympathize with these parents, and my condolences to them for losing their daughter. I think more people are focused on the drama and the nature of the beast, meaning what's going on with this murder investigation. But I'm more focused on, I'm hoping the parents are doing as best as they can, because a little girl is missing. And prior to her dead, and prior to her being dead and missing, she was involved with an older gentleman, a very well-known rapper that blew up in 2022 named David. And this guy skyrocketed with a song called Romantic Homicide, right? And I know a lot of people are trying to put two and two together and say that song was about this situation, and saying that he was infatuated with romance and death and all this. Look, I don't know what the hell is going on in his mind. Some people are, I guess, infatuated with different types of things, some with death, some with the abnormal. One thing I could say for sure was he was infatuated with doing weird shit with a young girl, man, and that is never cool. So with public opinion, I stand and I will say, no matter if he is convicted or if he is even arrested as a suspect in this case, he definitely is a suspect in being a PDF file. That's right off the top. In fact, we don't even suspect that shit. We know, right? There's been released footage, photos of him having interactions with this girl that he should have never been having as an adult man. That's period, right? You don't go around kids. I said it yesterday. But there's been some new breaking news. Not necessarily breaking, but it was breaking to me last night when I came across it. The authorities have been doing a proper investigation. Immediately, the first person they questioned in the disappearance and the body was the man David, the rapper, whose car they found this child in. Okay, there's a lot of rumors going around. Look, and they're just rumors that they found this body dismembered. I'm here to dispel those rumors and say, look, there is no reputable a source, whether it be the authorities or a righteous news that has said that this body was dismembered. It's all rumor, and a lot of people, quite frankly, are just saying this because it sounds more dangerous, clickbaitish. You know, when you see a dismembered, it automatically triggers you into wanting to watch that video. But the fact is that there is no credible report that says that this little girl, was dismembered. She was found decomposed, and her body was decomposing in the trunk of the Tesla, which of course traced back to David. It is his car, which he never reported missing. So that's that. We touched on that yesterday. Now, the authorities did snatch him up. He was in Seattle, right, about to do a concert. So they talked to him, and the word on the curb is that he is working with authorities, that he is responding to the questions, that he is absolutely not hiding anything, allegedly, to the authorities. Man, he's cooperating, right? Now, just because he's cooperating doesn't mean he doesn't have anything to hide, or he's not misguiding them. You know, we know how that goes, right? We know how that goes. There's plenty of people that will lightweight cooperate. Of course, everyone's going to tell you, no, I don't know nothing. Yeah, no, I got nothing to hide, right? When deep down inside, they got sangre all over their hands. That's blood for those that don't understand Spanish. Now, I'll say this about this guy, David. You know, automatically, people are looking at him as the suspect, the prime suspect. For one, he's fraternizing with the little girl in a relationship. And I think we could pretty much say, without saying allegedly, that he was in some type of relationship, whether it was a friends with benefits relationship, or it was just friendly, or it was a full-blown relationship. This man was around this little girl quite frequently, to the point where even her family knew that she was dating a guy named David. Did they approve? Well, I would hope not if they knew his age. But, you know, different people parent differently. Now, I'll say this about David. The interaction makes him look guilty. The fact that her body was discovered in his car makes him look guilty. The fact that he never reported his car missing, well, that makes him guilty. And the fact that a lot of his music, prior and after this relationship, because this relationship is over now, has been a little homicidal. It's been a little different, right? Now, a lot of people are judging this guy, and I'm first to say this. When it comes to the Jake and Rebecca Harrell situation, I'm going to judge like a motherfucker. Someone has to. The last judge didn't do the judging right? So I'm going to be the trial judge, executioner, and jury, right? And I'm going to say they're guilty of sin. But when it comes to this guy, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to say he's guilty for being a chomo. That's facts, right? But I don't know if he's absolutely guilty of this murder. I don't want to come quick to judgment on him, because people are like, his endorsements, they're dropping him. He's losing endorsements. There's other singers that are cutting him off. People are quick to point the finger. Now, they could be pointing the finger because he was having a relationship with this little girl and it's coming out. And hey, I get it. I dropped that motherfucker too, straight up, right? But as far as implicating him in this murder and dropping him because you think he did this, you can have your opinion, but opinions are just lips and assholes. And that's just facts, right? We don't know for sure. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, chomo, yes. Killer, I don't know. There's been some other evidence though that presented itself. Last night I came across a video that was done by ABC News. Pretty reputable, right? They're reputable. And they were interviewing a neighbor. And this neighbor is a neighbor to a house that is 1 block away from where they found Celeste, right? The tow yard. And this neighbor said that he had seen the vehicle, couldn't miss it. It was a black Tesla with a big dent towards the bumper. I think it was the passenger side panel in the back. And he said that it had Texas plates. He noticed it. And I don't, hey, I'm not calling him a liar, because when you are from a neighborhood, you pretty much know all your neighbors, know all the cars that frequent that area. If there's a car that's sitting in front of a home at different hours of night, you're going to start to recognize that car. Whose car is that? Why hasn't that car moved? Now, allegedly, that car was towed from that exact spot to the tow yard. It was left and abandoned. I'm sure one of the neighbors called, was concerned. Hey, there's a Tesla, dirty ass Tesla out here. Why don't you guys come and snatch it up? They did. A week later, they smelt an aroma. Boom. There you go, right? Unfortunately, they found that little girl wrapped up in the back of the trunk. Now, yesterday, the cops did raid and serve a search warrant on that house that car was parked in front of. The cops were in there for an hour or two, and they came out with a lot of different devices. It looked like they came out with computers, monitors, hard drives, things of that nature. And that can only lead me to believe one or two things. One, they want to see what is on that camera footage. If that household had the Ring camera, or they were recording, or they had any type of security cameras, of course the cops are going to take it with them so that they can look at it and see what the hell's going on. That could be a big help. Now, there has been people that said Teslas, the majority of Teslas have cameras that record inside and outside of the vehicle. I don't know the year of this Tesla, so I don't know if those were manufactured with indoor and outdoor cameras, because if they were, if that camera was still in working condition, it was recording, and all the officers need to see is who left that car, who abandoned it, and what happened. Now, I don't believe Celeste was killed in that vehicle. I believe she was killed at a different location, placed in that vehicle, left abandoned, to which, of course, it was towed away to the tow yard. So it wasn't like they drove it to the tow yard, just left it. Seems like she'd been dead for a while. The decomposition of her body, the way she was decomposing, seems like she had been gone for a while. Now, she ran away when she was 13. Most people are thinking she died at around the age of 14, obviously, because she just turned 15. So she was probably dead for, I don't know, a couple weeks, few weeks at the most. Now, whatever law enforcement is doing at that home, right there in the beginning, the way I looked at it is maybe someone in that home had something to do with it. Maybe this case doesn't even involve David the rapper, and he's just getting a bad rap. Yes, he's doing chomo activities, so yes, he looks absolutely guilty. We know he's guilty of at least one thing, right? Of course, him not reporting his vehicle is highly suspicious, missing. But them, initially what I thought, them raiding that home or serving a search warrant on it and then gathering different devices and taking them, I immediately thought, well, maybe David was gone. Maybe, and this is just my theory, okay? Maybe David knew he was going on this world tour. Maybe he was in a relationship with Celeste. No babies about that. We know there was some type of frivolous activity going on between them two, you know? It's easy to manipulate a youngster, man, and it seems like this was the case. She was manipulated by him. Did she feel safe at all times? I'm sure that will come out. There were some text messages between her and a friend where it seemed at some point her friend was very suspicious of the relationship and was very concerned with her safety and her well-being. I understand that when you go missing or run away, your friends are going to be concerned. What's going on? What's he doing? Are you all right? You know, they just want to make sure she's fine. Her text messages were well received and seemed like she was doing all right. Seemed like she was happy in the situation she was in. Now, my theory is this, and this is David's saving grace. It quite possibly could be a situation where David let her borrow the car and said, you know what, look, I'm going to be going on this world tour. You cannot come with me. I don't know why he wouldn't take his girlfriend with him, other than he's probably going to fraternize and involve himself with groupies and other women. You know, as men, if you can leave the sand on the beach and not take it home with you, then you ain't got to worry about sand dollars. You're fine, right? So I believe he left her at home and told her, look, you can drive my old dirty dented Tesla if you want. And there's a situation where she could have been driving around, ran into the wrong type of people, and boom, one thing leads to another and they find her body. But again, there's a lot of people pointing fingers at David. He was the automatic suspect. Now, he has not been arrested. It has been since the 8th that her body was discovered. We are talking about, we are now on the 19th. And that is what, 8-9 days? And he has not been arrested. Now, he's been questioned extensively. So much so that he, the next day he was supposed to do a concert in Seattle, Washington. He stepped away from that, canceled that. We're yet to see if he's going to cancel more tour dates. But I'm sure if they have him as a suspect, they're monitoring him very closely, right? You would think that he would be told if he was a suspect to go home and, hey, we'll keep you posted. But I don't know what the conversation was between these detectives and him, other than probably getting some background on the last time that he's seen Celeste and why he didn't report his car. And that in itself is very suspicious. Now, it could have been a situation where she was out there joyriding in this vehicle that her boyfriend, unfortunately, we have to say that even though he's fucking 20 years old, right? But her boyfriend left her and she found herself in a bad side of town in a bad situation. One never knows, does one? You need to, in these type of situations, give everyone the benefit of the doubt without being judgmental. Now, when it comes to the Haro case, I am very judgmental. That's just me. I don't ask you to ride with me, but I definitely ask you to understand me. When it comes to this situation, there's just something. It's a gut feeling. I don't know, man. That doesn't seem right. Will this man be arrested? Did he really have something to do with it besides being a PDF file? I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is they're starting to look into other situations. What does that house have to do with anything besides the car was towed from the front yard? Okay, or from the front of the house. Could it be just that? Or could it be a situation where there could be some suspects in that home? Maybe that was where the car was driven to. Was Celeste even alive when that car was parked right there? Was she already in the trunk? Or did she go into that home or know someone in that home? Or was she lured into that home? Obviously, they served a search warrant on that home, not necessarily knocked on the door and asked them if they can get some evidence. They literally served a search warrant on that home. That means something is suspicious about that home. Again, that household is just 1 block away from where Celeste's body was discovered. Now, this is kind of getting to become a tricky situation because everybody has an opinion. My opinion, and this is what I ask for my viewers, my followers, my subscribers, let's not be very judgmental in this case besides him being a chomo. Yeah, he deserves everything he gets for that. But we're not going to pin a murder on him, man, like everyone else is. You know, people like Crocs, the Crocs company that he had an endorsement with, and other companies have literally cut this man off just based on he's associated or his name is being circulated on social media and on news channels about possibly being involved in this murder. That's wild, right? You know, that's guilty before innocent, period. Now, as far as him fraternizing with the kid and being involved with the child, yes, he is guilty of that, no doubt. Even if it's a conversation and the moment you text a kid, you're weird. Straight up. You better be related and better be get your ass home. And never better be, hey, what are you wearing or what are you doing? You are not supposed to give a fuck what that kid's doing unless it's your daughter or son. And to me, the only text that my kids ever get is get your fucking ass home. That's it. Where are you? I'm going right now. Hey, let me talk to their dad. Is their mom a bitch? Right? These are the things that I do. I don't know. I'm a different type of father, man. I'm very involved. And what would you call a strict father? Happy birthday. It's actually my daughter's birthday today. Man, you know what I'm saying? About her, the big cupcake, whole bunch of balloons. You know, my daughter, she's 14. She's into the eyelashes and the nails and all this stuff. You know, as a good father, man, I have to take care of me and mine. I can only sympathize with the parents of Celeste, man. Such a sad story, and there is no conclusion in sight yet. Until David is arrested, I don't have him on my radar. Oh, he's there for being a PDF file, but he's not there as far as a murderer, man. I think there's more to meets the eye here. I think this could be a situation where it doesn't involve David whatsoever besides her being found in his car. But I question David on this. Why the fuck you didn't report your car stolen, man? You know what I'm saying? If I got a Tesla, man, and it's missing, I want to know where it's at. That leads me to believe he did not know it was missing. Now, I don't know when this world tour started, and I don't know how long his car was missing. But according to that neighbor that was interviewed, he's seen that car about a month or two prior sitting there in the front of that house. So this could all have happened within the last 2 months. I guess we're going to find out. With that being said, let me know what you guys think, man. I'm going to continue updates and breaking news as that story keeps going, man. I'm not in this one for the views, to be totally honest with you. I'm in this one for the news. I'm right here with you guys and want to find out exactly what the hell is going on, man. You know, it's so unfortunate that we have to keep doing these stories about children. And yes, Celeste at 15 years old was a child. You know, she died at 14, ran away at 13, or left home at 13. This was a baby still, man. You know, what kind of sick perverts do we have in this world that would have a relationship with kids at the age of 18, 19, 20? Just sickos, man. David, if anything, I don't care about his music. I don't care about him, man. All I care about is that child that was found in the trunk of his car. And I'm going to tell you right now, David, you're a no good man for being around a little girl. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Let me know what you think. Did he did it? Did he did it? Not did he do it, but did he did it? Or didn't he? I don't know. One never knows, does one.